Hi everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Kloom, I'm a third year medical student and I'm here to teach you all about the secrets of studying and understanding concepts much faster. I found during my medical studies that the very first thing you want to do in order to understand a topic or a concept very quickly is to let go of the idea of perfection. A very big mistake is going into a lecture or a lesson trying to understand every little detail in it. You really don't have to get everything in the topic. It's okay to miss a point here, to not get something, to not understand something. It's fine. You don't have to put so much pressure into studying and trying to understand what's going on. No one is an expert in the field from the very first time they do something. You're not going to be a master of cooking a dish you try for the very first time. Why is that not the case with your studying? You're not going to be a master of your topic the very first time you learn about it. So remove all those expectations you set for yourselves, whether subconsciously or consciously. If you understand most of the topic, perfect. You don't have to spend more time on it. And even if you only understand 20% of a topic, also perfect. You don't have to get everything. So the very first thing you want to do after you let go of this perfectionist mindset is to orient yourself to the topic with simplicity and then delve deeper into the details. You want to gain a core understanding and set a framework to your topic before actually delving into it. And the way you do that is to find resources that summarize the topic for you in order to get the main picture out of it. Here's how I would do it with an example. If I'm studying the topic of diabetes, I would first start by orienting myself to diabetes by watching a 3-minute video or reading a summary on diabetes itself. It doesn't have to be anything medical, it could be just general knowledge, but it gives me this framework of what diabetes is exactly, this core understanding. When I go into the slides or the lecture or the textbook itself, I will be reading about diabetes with much more detail. And then I can slot those details into this big umbrella I said earlier. Oftentimes when I don't do that and I delve into the topic of diabetes right away, I get lost into the details very easily. I no longer am able to link the small detail to the overall disease itself. Instead, I'm just confusing myself by hyperfixating on the details. When you have that big reference point that you can refer to at any time, you can get yourself out of any confusion with the details very easily. And then you can tackle the details again. And that's sort of how you understand the concept much faster. Now that you've set this big reference point you can refer to later, what we want to do is create reference points within the details themselves. The reason is we learn better by comparison rather than studying things in a vacuum. Let me give you an example. If I'm studying type 1 and type 2 diabetes, when I'm studying type 1 and type 2 diabetes, there's always the big reference point of diabetes I said earlier. But now I want to create two reference points to each other. So instead of trying to study diabetes type 1 on its own and then studying type 2 diabetes on its own, I can study them both at the same time. I can compare the different symptoms, the way we diagnose them, the different outcomes from the very beginning. So it makes the distinctions between these two different things very clear. In type 1 diabetes, for example, it's an autoimmune process, but that's sort of vague to me when I try to study it on its own. And I know that type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune process, and I know that type 2 diabetes is not an autoimmune process. It sort of helps me create this contrast between them that highlights this key difference between these two different topics. You can use it plenty in any of the lectures. Create ways to compare things in order to help you understand them better. And believe me, that speeds up your understanding and your comprehension of the topic much faster. Now, I understand that some concepts are not really comparable, so in that case, you want to use every disposable resource at your hand in order to facilitate the process of trying to understand it. What that means is take shortcuts. It's okay to go leave the studying material, go watch a very quick video to clarify whatever thing you're finding confusing and then going back to it. You don't have to power your way through it. If you're finding it difficult, just go the lazy way about it and go understand it through a different resource. Odds are you'll have more fun anyways and you'll be more motivated to study it and understand it and comprehend it better. And finally, if it's just not clicking and you've tried everything, stop. It's okay. Take a break, leave it alone. You can go back to it later always. It's fine. Sometimes all our brains need is just rest. Think of a time where you've thought about something for too long. You really get burnt out by it a lot. Dissociate from it, and then you come back to it probably from a different angle and perspective. And really, that's it. That's all you need to understand the concept much faster. The moral of the story is just set reference points within your studying, have a big framework, and compare things. Now, if you're studying hard and you're still not performing well on your exam, I've got a video over here with 6 tips that'll help you out during an exam to perform much better. In the meantime, if you found yourself benefiting from this video, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. I will personally deliver a cookie to your house right away. Not really. And it would make my day. If you want to make my day, please go ahead and do it. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.